Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Perisno. Now, when we left off, we had just defended Valderberg from an overwhelming onslaught by the Reich, and we are now going to be heading on to Freising, as I stated previously, and taking a look at our unit composition right here, just to make sure that everything is good. And it appears as though it is. We do have quite a few low-level units in the form of Perisno nuns, and various other things, such as Perisno squires as well. Even though they're actually not that bad, they are on mounts after all. So, without further ado, let us head in. And we are going to see if we can actually do this, because obviously they do have an overwhelming amount here, but I think we actually outnumber them, if you can believe that. I did not, initially, and I thought to myself, wow, do we really have more than them? And it appears as though we might. So, without further ado, let us lead our soldiers in an assault and try to eliminate them as quickly as we can. Now, we do have a shield, of course, so we are going to be able to defend against many of their archers. And, wow, that's actually quite the brutal beginning to a very extended siege, no doubt. And that is, of course, being bombarded by a huge amount of archers. But they were not able to even, well, they almost shattered our shield, but really, there is nothing to worry about still. And we will be, oh my, ascending up the ladder and no doubt being absolutely massacred once we arrive here. Are we? Are we going to be massacred? Maybe, maybe. Oh no, please do not fall off the edge. Please do not fall off the edge. Scout Striker Wilkins must maintain his footing. Otherwise, bad things can happen and will happen. They have happened before, and will no doubt happen again very soon, but hopefully not this time. So let us just make sure that we can insert ourselves into their defensive line and see what we can do. Okay, now we need to be a little bit careful here. Okay, come on. Yes, we took out yet another unit, and oh no, that is a critical wound. Thank you very much. Oh no. Okay, Dietrich. Ah, Dietrich has advanced to level 24. Very nice indeed. I do like seeing our companions level up, of course. I should probably jump here or get out of the way somehow, but there's no way I'm going to be able to do that, really. So, yeah, we're going to be definitely taking a fall here, unfortunately enough. But, yes, that is actually quite unfortunate, because I was going to say, but we've taken out a good amount of their units, but no, we haven't actually even done that, because they have an overwhelming amount of very strong infantry, and indeed maybe even cavalry here, in the bottleneck. And I think that might actually be a fool's errand. I think we might just want to head away from here. I know it's very, very bad, isn't it? But they do have two vassals there, and I'm thinking maybe Slezsk Castle instead may be the way to go. So we're going to be heading on there instead, and we'll just take a look and see how many units they have there. I do know for a fact that Ahun Castle doesn't have too many units, and we might actually be able to take this instead. Now, the reason I wanted to take Freising was, of course, they do have 256 prisoners, and we would be able to rescue each and every one of them, and you can imagine how absolutely fantastic that would be. Oh, we actually have something else going on here. Oh, okay, so it appears as though the Realm of the Falcon are forming some pretty good ties here, as you can probably see, with the Kingdom of Taurania making peace with them, of course, and oh, they've actually offered they've actually offered us a peace agreement. Okay, well, I am going to ask for Slezsk Castle. And nope, they're not going to be giving us that. Well, that's a little unfortunate, isn't it? But we can also see that the Realm of the Falcon has made a defensive pact with Drahara. So, yes, it appears our war against the Reich continues. And we will be moving on to Ahun Castle in due time. But I would like to rejuvenate ourselves a little bit more, and there it is. So now we'll be heading in. I was hoping that it wouldn't be night still, because it did show dawn on the world map, but unfortunately, yes, not going to be the case this time. Hopefully the vassal has now left, but I don't believe that was the case, so we are just going to be facing him. Let's put our archers on the outside as well this time. That might actually help us out a little bit more than them rushing in and potentially dying badly. So now let us make sure that we get some good kills. And Arakanis is actually doing an exceptional amount of damage as well, which I really have to applaud him for. It is very difficult to get kills with throwing weapons, or at least I think he's got throwing weapons, doesn't he? I'm pretty sure he has, so that is very, very nice for him to be able to do that. And now we must crush through their blocks. And we will take all of them down, or as many of them down as we can. Yes, there we are, thank you. Oh no, careful. Careful. Yes, thank you. Now maybe we can actually eliminate many of these units here. There we are, thank you very much. And wow, we've actually got into the battlements already. That is a very nice progression, I have to admit, because I was a little bit worried that we would have some difficulties actually doing that. Now, how many have we taken out so far? Actually, a reasonable amount, actually 65 so far. And they have around 220, 230 here. So, in actual fact, we are going to be in for quite the long haul here, but hopefully we will be able to make it swift as much as we can. A lot of their archers is now spawning in, which is not great, I gotta say. So, let's see, shall we? Let us see and make sure that everything is going well. Maybe. We have Arakanis. Arakanis is moving up the lines here, and hopefully he will show them how powerful his flaming sword can be. But otherwise, it appears as though we're actually losing quite a few of our units to their archers. So I'm hopeful that I'll be able to... Yes, there we go. Jump off here and maybe distract the enemy units as much as we can. Let's see if we can do that. The enemy archers, at least. Come on. Come on, enemy archers. You must be distracted by my intervention here. Or maybe not. No? Okay, yes, there we are. Thank you very much. Yes, excellent. And maybe I can take out this one, and... Oh, no! Okay, be careful. I'm going to try and lure these guys around here if I can. Maybe? Maybe? Nope. Okay, definitely not, but we did stop some of the archers from firing, so I suppose that is a good idea. Of course, they have now just gained more units, respawned, and... that's a little unfortunate, isn't it? That is very unfortunate indeed. So... I think we probably can tell our archers to now charge in as well. I think we probably need their assistance, so we are going to be doing that. But we are getting a very nice foothold here. The only problem with it, of course, is the fact that they are now getting more reinforcements. We, of course, have an overwhelming amount of units, so I really shouldn't worry too much about them receiving reinforcements, because obviously if we receive reinforcements, then we're going to be losing even more units, which is absolutely terrible. So it would be wonderful to keep the current units that we have on the battlefield right now, and hopefully they will see to it that we are victorious in the end. As we see, we have more enemies now spawning in as well. They must have a huge barracks, that is for sure. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, it appears as though everyone is actually getting in now on the garrison walls, and indeed going to be able to eliminate many of the enemy units now as well. Bluewood Noble, there's actually a Bluewood Noble in there. I'm actually unsure which one it is, but hopefully he's going to stay alive, because those guys are pretty difficult to acquire, and it would be wonderful to keep him alive. Maybe? We are losing quite a few, but it appears as though the Bluewood Noble is staying out of trouble. He does have a relatively good shield, by my reckoning. I think this is him. Is that him? I actually have no clue, but it appears as though he is wearing a blue cloak, so I would assume that that would be a Bluewood Ranger, and indeed Noble as well. We do have a couple of both types of units. And the archers, once again, are absolutely destroying us. As soon as any of our units get around the corner, it is just an absolute bloodbath. That is really quite a shame, but we have received reinforcements now, so I suppose that's not too bad. As we can see, we've taken out 173 enemy units, and I gotta say, that's actually pretty good. And, hopefully the enemy only has one more reinforcement wave to go, and hopefully many of the enemy archers, as we can see here, are running out of arrows. Are they running out of arrows? No, many of them still have almost a full quiver, but thankfully enough, they are now being absolutely destroyed by our Elvery Rangers, so I have to say that I am incredibly pleased with their performance, because I was a little bit worried that the archers of the enemy would go unopposed, while we were attempting to assail their position, but thankfully enough we have now gained a very, very nice foothold, as you can see, and many of the archers are raining down death and doom, as well as destruction upon our opponents, and decimating their population. That is very, very nice indeed. But otherwise, I believe they only have 55 units remaining, and we have 52 on the battlefield. Okay, so this is going to be relatively close. I am very hopeful that these fellows right here, our units, will not get fully taken out and we won't require another wave of reinforcements, because if we do, the enemy may indeed have an opportunity to gain a foothold and be able to push us back, which would be quite the travesty in my opinion. And oh, one of the Bluewood nobles has been killed, the other one has been knocked unconscious. They did such an amazing job. I am hopeful that the fellow that killed all of those units on the front line did not die, because he is an absolute hero. And oh, we actually have another one in our ranks. That's very nice. Okay, hopefully he will stay alive to see the end of this battle, because goodness knows Scout Striker Wilkins did not, which of course, yeah, usually happens. He really does not see the ends of fights that often. Yes. Okay, so we lost 37 units to death, as we can see here. A lot of Elvery units, but nothing to worry about too much there. And we took out 283. Wow, my estimate was way off. Okay. We are, however, going to now be taking Wolf Knights, Wolf Constables, and I think we will also be taking Illica Falchi Knights. Holy Crusaders! Oh my, that's actually very nice. Shall we take some Black Warriors? I'm not entirely sure. I think we probably will. They appear to be a unique unit after all. Do they? I think so. I don't think I've seen them very much before. Do we have any others of them? We actually have 13 Bluewood Nobles. That's actually very impressive. Very nice indeed. So let's just see here. Do we have any other Black Warriors? It doesn't seem like it. We actually have Zan Kamikaze Warriors, Veteran Swift Hunters, and so on. But I don't believe we have any of that unique unit. I don't believe so. No, we don't. So that is, I think, the first time that we have come across that, which I gotta say is very cool. So let's just see here. Is there any other special unit that we want to take? Maybe? Well, I think we probably want to take the Illica Falchi Riders and the Wolf Squires, and then we have another 23 spaces. So I am going to be taking some Zan Kamikaze Warriors, some Desert Assassins, Storm Riders, Sandstormer, and oh wow, the Drahara Light Riders, they're actually pretty good, apparently. And what else do we want here? Sword Maiden, Illica Falchi Hunters. Well, we need to make the most of it, so I may as well take as many as I can. Oh, Perisno Cavalry, I almost missed out on you. Wow, that was pretty bad of me, I gotta say. Almost missed out on a very good unit. They do become some incredible cavalry, so wow, that would have been terrible. But nevertheless, we have now moved on, and we are now looting a couple of things. Nothing really to write home about right now, and we are going to be giving this to Lord Marcus. And do bear in mind that we are probably going to be taking a new vassal very soon, because as we see here, we actually have a very large territory that is currently only being governed by 3 vassals and myself, of course. So we need to be a little bit careful about that. So let's just head on to Ahun Castle and see what we can do there. And Slezsk Castle now has 55 units in the garrison there, and I'm actually a little bit worried about this message. Significant group of enemies spotted near Slezsk. So, little bit worried about that, but hopefully we will not have to worry too much about any retaliations against us there, but you never know. If they do decide to do that, then we are probably going to be heading back as quickly as possible, but it appears that everything's working out quite nicely. There are actually a couple of enemies near here, apparently. Aha, over here. Significant groups of enemies here, so I think we're probably going to be heading on over and seeing if we can intercept them. Maybe. Ooh, wow. Okay, so yes, we're losing 22,000 cash every single week. And as we see here, in our treasury, there's literally nothing. Did I forget that they were taking that? I think I probably did. But we're going to be heading on back there and seeing what's going on, because we cannot allow them to have something such as that. And we now have no food remaining, so we're going to have to deal with that, of course. But first, we are going to be moving on to Galway and seeing what we can do there. I was quite preoccupied with the siege of Slezsk, as well as Freising, of course, attempting to take that. So let's just actually take a look and see what is 64 of them. Okay, well, they definitely left this without a siege tower. Yes, it's going to take 60 hours. Now let's just see whether any Maccabean armies turn up. Because if they do, then we will eliminate them. But if they don't, then we will take this without any opposition whatsoever. Only 64 units in the garrison should be absolutely fine, no problem at all. And luckily enough, a Slezsk castle is no longer under siege as well, which I actually do like a lot. Very nice indeed. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Maybe one of our vassals was in the area and was able to chase off the enemy lord. That would be wonderful. Now let's just see when our siege tower is going to be built. I am thinking probably another day. Ooh, aha! We have a lord defection here from the Drahara. They are joining us. Of course, that is only if we accept his pledge. I don't think we will be doing that just yet. Party has nothing to eat, and we lose some morale. We need to be a little bit careful about that. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get into Galway soon, and then we can purchase some food from the marketplace here. That would be spot on, in my opinion. Very, very nice. And Galway has now been awarded to Lord Siegfried of the Maccabean forces. Okay, well, he's not going to have it for long, that's for sure. We are right here, and he doesn't appear to be defending it, so we are in a very good spot indeed. And it appears as though Slezsk Castle has now come under siege once again, so we can only hope that our vassal is still in the area, or at least something to dissuade the fellow from actually sieging it. So we'll see what happens. And I do believe that we are going to be heading in there very, very soon. Ah! A religious fanatic from the old god's worshippers follows your army. He creates much unrest, but gains some converts as well. Let him be. Okay. Okay, yeah, we are already in the doghouse with the old gods, well, the new gods, should we say, and the old gods like us a little bit more now, so I suppose that's okay, but I really haven't encountered any new god forces, so don't know whether I really need to worry about that too much. Now, we do have a siege tower to move, so this is going to be a little bit painstaking, but we will be making our way over there as quickly as we can. Now, do bear in mind, we have a large amount of archers right now, 30 archers in fact, and I'm actually thinking, are we going to see an archer-only siege victory? That might actually be the case, because if I move our archers a little bit closer here, we may see them just get so many kills that it is just absolutely insane. And I am very much looking forward to seeing what happens there, to be honest, because if we can actually win just by doing that, it would save us a huge amount of time. And, of course, it would save us quite a few casualties, too. But I would like to take a couple prisoner, of course, because we are the slave-taking faction in this particular game. And, wow, it actually appears as though this might work. This might actually happen, because our Elvery Redwood Knights, Rangers, and indeed regular Rangers are just way too good. And, wait a minute, I'm not complaining about that, am I? No, I'm not complaining about that at all. In fact, I am saying that it is... They're underpowered. They're underpowered, if anything. As you can see, they're not getting any kills whatsoever. I mean, they've only killed 35 of them. Seriously, that's nothing. You know, that's absolutely nothing at all. They need to be buffed, if anything. Right? You agree with me, I'm pretty sure, but nevertheless, we are just going to be waiting here, and, oh, the ramp is already coming down. That was actually exceptional timing on my part there, or at least I feel like it was just a complete fluke, probably. Yes. So, let's try and deal some damage here. Try and draw these guys out because goodness knows the archers are going to be getting headshots all the time. Look at that. All of those headshots. And now we must take as many of them prisoner as we can. Okay, just ignore that. I didn't die. I think Scout Striker Wilkins is just having a small nap. He doesn't have to worry too much about winning this because it is a very simple siege, and that is what I said before we actually begun this. So, yes, I'm actually still alive. I'm just using the free roaming camera. And Scout is in there somewhere. Don't worry. Yes, he is in there somewhere. He's just running around doing his thing, and I'm just showing an overview of the battle, right? Yes, of course. Okay, so, yeah, Scout Striker Wilkins did not get wounded. That is a typo right there. Seriously, that is a typo, really. And 64 units have been taken out, so that's actually very, very nice. And we did rescue some prisoners, so we can actually get back up to our 513 max company size, and we can take a couple of enemies prisoner. Not as many as I would have liked, of course, but what can you do? And there is a longsword. And one of the things that I do believe actually killed us. I mean, what? No, we didn't die in that one, did we? No, not at all. So there is actually a problem here, and that is the fact that I have to garrison Galway again. So without further ado, I will be ending this off here. And next time on Perisno, we are going to be heading on to Ahun Castle, taking out that Radigir Castle most likely, and we'll see from there. So, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.